Join me. Hello, hello, hello. All right, are we ready to start? Woo! All right, thank you for coming. We just want to say welcome. Thank you to our students, staff, faculty, visiting guests, and family members who are here to celebrate our amazing students. We are here to celebrate our graduating students and award recipients. We ask that you give your full attention to our graduating students and award winners for the next 90 minutes or so. When the ceremony ends around 1:45 p.m., we will invite you all to join us upstairs in Steinhardt and the rooftop for some drinks and light refreshments.
Thank you all for being here early. If you have family members or other friends who didn't make it into booth, we have an overflow room in 170, which I heard is full, and then a second overflow room in Goldberg, if you want to send anyone up there. And with that, we're going to get started. So I'm going to hand it off to Dean Chemerinsky.
Thank you and good afternoon. I'm often asked what makes Berkeley Law special. And I say first and foremost, it's the public mission of this law school. It's a deep belief that the law school, lawyers, law students should be involved in using law to make our society and our world a better place. It's reflected in every aspect of the law school. It's our pro bono program and the pro bono hours that you, our students, do throughout law school. It's our clinical program. It's our centers. It's the courses in our curriculum. It's how they're taught. And so if I was to do thanks, I would really need to spend much of the time that you're going to be here just reading a list of all of those who are responsible for advancing this public mission. But I do want to single out one person. Hope you'll join me in thanking her, and that's Deborah Schlossberg, who's the director of our pro bono program. I want to just remind you of who we're honoring here today. We're honoring JD and LL.M. students who've done one or more of the following: completed the Pro Bono Pledge, or completed 2 summers of public interest or public service work, or served as a leader for a student-initiated legal service project, a SLIP, or a Berkeley Alternative Service Trip, LAST, or met the requirement for the public interest and social justice certificate or the race and law certificate. I want you to take a moment and look around the room and see how many students are here. You are the embodiment of what Berkeley Law is about in our public interest commitment. And you, our students, have done over 35,000 hours of pro bono work while you're in law school. This is a moment when many people are discouraged about law, about the Supreme Court, about world events. And I'm often asked what gives me hope. And my answer is always instantaneous and unequivocal. It's my students. It's you here in this room. I have such deep confidence that you will be part of using law to make our society and our world a better place. So my congratulations to all the students and all of your family on the accomplishment of the certificate and on your commencement.
Good afternoon, friends. My name is Savala, and I'm the Executive Director of the Felt Me Henderson Center for Social Justice. And I'm also, like y'all, about to be an alum of the law school, so I'm going to try not to cry as I look out at your beautiful faces. I'm also going to tell you right now, it is hot under these lights, and I may just dab my forehead periodically. Just roll with me, please. First, I want to acknowledge the Public Interest Working Group, which hosts this event, and in particular, the 2 people most responsible for bringing us together today, Nach Valverde and Amanda Pursoon. Please give them some love. Second, I'd like to recognize that UC Berkeley, including Booth Auditorium, where we sit, is on the territory of the Huchun, the ancestral and unceded land of the Chochenyo-speaking Ohlone people. This land continues to be of great significance to the Ohlone tribe. All of us have and continue to benefit from the use and occupation of this land. Friends, today we honor members of the graduating class who've shown an extraordinary commitment to service, to community, and to resistance and creation above and beyond the tremendous amount of work required simply to earn the bare bones diploma. The Henderson Center administers 2 of the certificates we celebrate today, and I want to give these folks some extra flowers. Please stand or raise your hand if you obtained the Public Interest in Social Justice certificate. Yes, yes. And if you obtained the Race and Law certificate, please raise your hand or stand. Let me be clear to the friends and the family and the staff in the room, the work our graduates are honored for today was optional. They chose it, even though they didn't have to. It is perfectly possible, let me assure you, to graduate from law school without giving a thought, let alone an hour of work, let alone hundreds of hours, thousands of hours of work, to the people and communities often pushed by power holders to the outskirts and margins of citizenship and personhood. Millions right now are being pushed and shoved to the crowded, under-resourced margins by bigotry, by cruelty, by the carceral industrial complex, by apartheid, by infringement on their rights to free embodiment of gender, of if, when, and how they wish to have children, by war, and more. I'd like us, therefore, to pause here in a small moment of silence to bear witness collectively to the people in this room and not in this room who are right now being exiled to the margins, who live in peril and who are awash in loss and precarity. We are, after all, living in a time of peril and precarity. I think it's right to acknowledge this, even on celebratory occasions. Maybe especially on celebratory occasions, so that we can bring our whole selves to the moment, so that we attune ourselves to the complex fullness of life, so that we turn away from nothing, holding our joy and your joy and our pride in you, our hope for you, with the same hands that hold our vulnerability and our mourning. I believe our hands are big enough and our hearts are big enough too, and if by chance I'm wrong and they're not, that's all the more reason to stretch them. Because this capacious holding is actually what you're choosing when you seek a life of deep, transformative service, lawyering. You are choosing not to turn away. You are choosing not to turn away from what is possible, from victories where you find them, and from the heartache of your sisters, brothers, and siblings. You did all this through your time at Berkeley Law. That's why you're here today. Let us not stop now. Moreover, you will need to cultivate practices of celebration, of pleasure, and levity in order to infuse your good lawyering with longevity. John Lewis, the late legendary civil rights activist and politician, famously encourages us to speak up, speak out, get in the way, get in good trouble, necessary trouble. If you're going to keep that good and necessary trouble going for 10, 20, 30, 50 years, you'll need to refine your capacity to hold not just the very bitter, but also the very sweet, to savor the sweet, to sink into it, dance into it, holler about it, hug your best friend about it, and call your mama about it, please. So, though the world contains multitudes, and we keep our eyes on that fact, let us, in these sunny springtime moments, savor together the vivid sweetness of what you have accomplished. Joy to you, dear students, on this significant occasion. We see you, we celebrate you, we are expecting and depending on you. You are cherished, you are mighty, you are needed, you are loved. May you enter a newly empowered season of rabble-rousing, deep restoration and growth. May you be the carriers of powerful medicine. Now, on with the program. Our first order of business is to celebrate the winners of the Francine Diaz Memorial Award, named in honor of a beloved law student and conferred each year on graduating students whose law school time and career plans best reflect Francine's singular dedication and devotion to justice for women of color. To introduce this year's winners, please help me welcome Professors Roxana Altos and David Oppenheimer.
Zavala, thank you so much for those words. I felt you brought us all into the room by helping us not forget who's not here with us today. Thank you for your leadership as always. Thank you. It is really my great pleasure to present the Francine Diaz Award to Athena Arana in recognition of her profound commitment to social justice. Athena has dedicated her time, energy, and intellect to fighting for labor justice by, in particular, advocating for women facing violence and discrimination in the workplace. Since 2013, Athena has worked to advance the interests of workers and migrants and gain greater familiarity with the ecosystem of justice. She has worked everywhere, from the California Rural Legal Assistance Organization to Al Otro Lado in Tijuana, Mexico, to Friends of Farm Workers, today known as Justice at Work in Philadelphia, to the Florence Immigrant and Refugee Rights Project in Arizona, and to Legal Aid at Work here in the Bay. This work is deeply personal to Athena. She wrote in her application, "In each client I've worked with, I've seen my mother picking strawberries in the fields, my uncle landscaping the homes of the wealthy, or my aunt cleaning hospital floors at night. This has pushed me to put my heart and soul into each case the way I would want anyone else to advocate for my family." She is on the road to becoming the advocate that her family and her community deserves. Athena has been awarded the 2024 Equal Justice Works Fellowship to work with low-wage migrants and undocumented workers in the agricultural and winemaking industries of Napa and Sonoma. In reviewing Athena's application, I could not help but think that her parents demonstrated a prophetic interest in selecting her name. Not only because she's definitely giving the man a headache, but because she and her struggle are imbued with wisdom and a warrior spirit. Mis felicitaciones a ti, Athena, a tu familia y a toda tu comunidad.
Wow. Hi, everyone. I am extremely honored to be here today. Of course, making my POC entrance a little bit late, so I apologize for that. But it's so great to see so many friendly faces in the audience. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here, for taking the time to celebrate me, to celebrate everyone, all my peers today who have dedicated their time here at Berkeley Law to public interest. Thank you to my family. As mentioned, I have been supported so much by my family, especially through this law school time. I want to thank primarily my partner who helped us get through these past 3 years, and especially in the last year as we had our first child and raised our baby. And I also want to extremely thank my mom, who is in the waiting area outside, but I will get to that later. I also really want to thank Jocelyn, who is my co-recipient here today. I am so honored to be awarded this award with you, Jocelyn. I don't know who else is more deserving of this award than my dear friend. And I'm truly honored to have spent the last few years going to school here with you. You have completely impacted my time here, and I'm really grateful for that, so thank you. I won't take up too much time. I just want to say that I truly never thought at the end of this past 3 years that I would receive any award. I aspired to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a lawyer since I was in high school, but I truly didn't think I would get here. When I got my Berkeley Law acceptance speech, which was my top school choice and definitely one of those, reach schools for me, I was crying so hard on the phone that my partner thought that I was saying I had gone into an accident and I'd hurt myself. He couldn't understand what I was saying. Truly, it was ugly tears. And it was that impactful for me, but it was impactful for my family as well. I knew I wanted to be an advocate for justice for our community because of my mom. And that's who I want to really dedicate this to, is my mom. She's a single parent of 4. And from picking the strawberry fields, she raised us to dedicate our lives to community work. She didn't have time, but still made it to do volunteer work at LULAC, the League of United Latin American Citizens, and dragged us to so many community events where she was an advocate speaking at this podium with the strongest voice I know in my life. And she showed me what it means to be a strong mom and to be a strong advocate. And I love her so much, and I'm so happy she's here. And I dedicate this to her. And I dedicate this to her legacy, because now that I'm a mom, I understand even more how difficult it is to be a parent on top of everything else going on in your life. Being a mom is hard, and and she is my guide. And as I go through my career, and I dedicate my life to the community as my mom did, despite all of the challenges that we have faced, I want to look down at my daughter and hope that she is looking at me as I looked at my mom and says, this is how you can do good work. This is how you can face the community with a big heart. And I can do something similar, no matter what it is. It doesn't have to be an attorney, but I can do something to dedicate my life to the community, just like the legacy of these strong women have left me. So today is her birthday, 9 months. I call it her birthday. We celebrate everything, right? Happy 9-month birthday, Liana Esperanza Rana. And thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you to the Francine Diaz Memorial Committee for choosing me. And I hope everyone has a fantastic graduation. Congratulations, everyone. You're amazing. It's been an honor and a privilege. Thank you.
It's my privilege to confer the other Francine Diaz Award to Jocelyn Gomez, an extraordinary student, person with such a long list of accomplishments, and I'm going to mention just a few, only in the interest of time. And that is that she has, over her 3 years here, been a mainstay in our Women of Color Collective. She co-led one of our blast trips to the U.S.-Mexican border to work there with refugees. She is the Public Interest Chair of La Alencia student organization. She's a board member, and I think continues to serve as a board member, of the East Bay Community Law Center. She serves as the editor-in-chief of the Berkeley Journal of Gender, Law, and Justice. And she will be working next year as an Equal Justice Works Fellow, which was really hard to get, at the Immigration Institute of the Bay Area, working with survivors of trafficking. Jocelyn, we're so privileged to have had 3 years to work with you. And I have to tell you, Francine was my research assistant and worked with me in the summer of 1985 in our employment discrimination clinic, representing 4 undocumented women working in a factory in the Central Valley who were being sexually harassed. And she did such wonderful work. It's such a privilege to confer this on you. So.
Thank you, everyone. I was already telling myself I'm not going to cry, but Athena broke me, and Professor Oppenheimer just killed me. So apologies if I am just like, tears are just running through the entire time. First, I want to thank Athena, my co-recipient. I'm so honored to be co-recipient of this award with you. You have been an incredible friend to me, and I know you're going to do amazing, amazing, amazing work. And I'm so excited to see where you're going to be. And hopefully we can do this work together, because I know that we're both fighting for women of color, and I'm excited to see where this friendship goes. Thank you to everyone who is here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to the Francine Diaz Memorial Award Selection Committee. I am truly honored today to be accepting this award. I know just looking through Ms. Diaz's biography and reading the interview with her family, that Ms. Diaz was known for her dedication to social justice and her advocacy of women of color. And I can only hope that I am able to follow in her footsteps and do her proud through my advocacy work as well. The entire reason I do the work that I do is because of the strong women who raised me. My mother, who unfortunately isn't here right now, but I know is sending me a lot of great love and vibes from back home. And my grandmother, mi abuelita, who is right down over there. Both my grandmother and my mother have been amazing role models for me. My grandmother migrated from Mexico to the United States. When she was young, she uprooted her entire family to be here because she knew that she could give us the opportunities that we could seek to get the education and be where we are right now because of her. My mother was also a strong person. She also uprooted her family after my father was deported when I was 15 years old. My mother, during his incarceration and detention, had to uproot my entire family and move back to Mexico. And that was a very incredibly difficult time for all of us. But I saw my mom never waver her strength. She was incredibly strong and just resilient in being able to deal with the incarceration of her loved one, while also dealing with her 3 children at the time and trying to make sure that they were taken care of. And so I honor every single thing that I do in their name, because they are the ones who taught me to be strong. I also want to take this opportunity to thank all the wonderful people that I've met throughout my 3 years in law school, my professors, Deborah, the BCLC family, everyone that I've got the opportunity to work with. It's been truly a pleasure and an honor to be a part of this incredible community. And I just want to take one last opportunity to thank all of you today, my classmates, because you have taught me something that I wouldn't be able to ever get in a classroom setting. You taught me what it means to have courage and bravery and to fight for what's right. I know so many of my friends who have been silenced, who have been harassed, who were doxxed these last 3 years for fighting what they believed in. It brought me to tears, and I know that their resilience is incredibly humbling and honoring. I'm sorry, it really, like, truly, the amount of harm that our community and our student community has suffered these last 3 years has been incredibly impactful. And I know the people that I've worked with understand why that is. And I just want to say that I thank you for your honor and for your bravery, and for not staying silent. Thank you. With that, I'll say again, thank you for everyone for being here today. I truly appreciate you, and I hope that you have the opportunity to be with your loved ones and to share this beautiful moment with them. Thank you.
Good afternoon, fellow students, faculty, and honored guests. My name is Kevin Callett, and I am a graduating 3L who had the pleasure of serving as the president of the Startup Law Initiative SLIP here at Berkeley Law during the 2022-2023 academic year. It is a privilege to stand before you today to celebrate the public interest and pro bono achievements of our graduating class and to recognize the invaluable contributions of those who have supported us along the way. Each year, the pro bono program at Berkeley Law presents the Cathy Pugh Award for Exceptional Mentorship to outstanding supervising attorneys of our SLIPS program in recognition of their extraordinary efforts to encourage, mentor, and supervise law students engaged in pro bono work. Today, I have the distinct honor of presenting the Cathy Pugh Award to the supervising attorneys of the Startup Law Initiative at SPZ Legal. SPZ Legal has generously served as the supervising attorneys for the Startup Law Initiative for the past 5 years, and their dedication to the students, the program, and the startup founder communities that we serve has been nothing short of remarkable. The Startup Law Initiative's public mission is to provide free legal services to low-income and diverse startup founders and local entrepreneurs. Our services allow founders to overcome costly legal barriers to conducting business, and with the help of SPZ Legal, we've assisted dozens of underrepresented founders and small business owners from a variety of backgrounds and industries, including students seeking to launch platforms to support other entrepreneurs and community members looking to open a local small business. Thanks to their unwavering dedication, SPZ Legal has facilitated and supported the growth of our program, doubling the number of students accepted into the program and more than doubling the number of clients supported within just 2 years. Equally noteworthy is their role as mentors and supervisors to Berkeley Law students. With patience and diligence, they have trained and mentored Startup Law Initiative fellows on all aspects of working with underrepresented founders and startup lawyering, providing a rare and invaluable opportunity for students to engage in meaningful transactional work early on in one's law school career. The recipients of this year's Cathy Pugh Award exemplify the very essence of mentorship and service to our legal community. Their contributions have not only shaped the experiences of many students, including myself, but have also impacted the lives of countless entrepreneurs and business owners seeking to make a positive difference. It is with profound appreciation that I present Ryan Channing-Pacrasso, Becky Mancero, Elizabeth Thorne, and Gia Kang from SPZ Legal with the Cathy Pugh Award for exceptional mentorship. Please join me in congratulating them on this well-deserved honor.
Wow, thank you. Nice to be back here. When I'm here, it's just reminded of what a powerful place this is. So to say that we are excited to be up here receiving an award with Cathy Pugh's name on it is an understatement. Cathy co-founded the East Bay Community Law Center. That's pretty amazing. When I was in law school, and I'm sure it's still the same now, EBCLC was completely synonymous with serving the community. As if that weren't enough, I learned that Cathy is such an icon that her prior law firm, MoFo, also has a Pro Bono Award named after Cathy. At some point, it may make sense to just stop calling it pro bono work and just start calling it Cathy Pugh work. For our humble boutique firm to be receiving an award with Cathy's name on it is truly a wonderful honor. Cathy, it's so good to meet you. And thank you for being such a model for what an impactful and fulfilling career in law can be. We originally had the opportunity to connect to the Startup Law Initiative through my good friend and now Assistant Dean for Executive Education here at the law school, Adam Sterling. So thank you, Adam, for the opportunity. We're able to achieve this honor because of the incredible work of the students involved in SLI, like Kevin. For those that do not know, SLI is a program where students help members of the community who may not be able to afford legal services incorporate their companies and take some initial steps towards the foundation for a successful venture. The students do all of the work to market SLI and source clients, and they get paired with members of our team who help guide the incorporation process. The students do the work to interface with clients, to learn about their plans, to draft all of the incorporation paperwork, and to deliver the information and documents to clients. To provide a taste of what this all actually looks like, I'd like to invite Becky Mancero from SPZ Legal to share an anecdote from a former SLI client who Becky has continued to work with.
Thank you, Ryan, and again, it's really incredible to be here, and thank you, Cathy. To help illustrate the impactful work that the Startup Law Initiative provides to the entrepreneurship community, we wanted to share a little bit about a startup client who worked closely with the SLI team during the fall semester of 2022. The company's name is Spotter. Spotter is a technology company that blossomed from the UCLA Anderson Venture Accelerator and discovered SLI through the UC system. Spotter, founded by Kevin White, a UCLA Anderson Business School alumni, and David Jackson. Spotter provides support to independent personal trainers who are small business owners to help them manage, schedule, interact with, and receive payments from their clients. The company launched its mobile app at the beginning of 2024, while also completing a successful investment round. Through SLI, the student team supported Spotter by assisting with the incorporation of the company and protecting the company's intellectual property at the very early stage. We are grateful for the opportunity to work with entrepreneurs like Kevin and David, who discover SLI through the pro bono resources available to the student entrepreneurs, especially in the UC system. We know that the impact that SLI had on Spotter at the very earliest stages has helped accelerate its growth, and we're very excited to see where it goes from here, knowing that the foundation started with SLI.
Thanks, Becky. So we as a team of attorneys supporting the students in SLI are really constantly amazed by their drive, intelligence, reliability, and charisma. So big props to the SLI students. And I know it's not unique to SLI. Hearing from the prior award recipients, I'm blown away by the charisma. It's just amazing. And super huge thank you to all of our staff at SPZ Legal. Every single one of our attorneys and our fantastic paralegal participate in SLI to supervise the program. Pro bono work, or Cathy Pugh work, for us is part of the honor of being an attorney, and I'm amazed by our team's commitment to impact in the broader community. When I look at our team, I see a group that approaches their work the same way that they approach their life outside of work, with a genuine focus on core values. They are compassionate, kind, respectful, thoughtful, reliable, and do their work and live their life with passion and intention. In my experience, lawyers far too often feel like they need to be something other than themselves to be successful. And this can result in lawyers being stiff and lacking enthusiasm. You've seen the stereotypes. But being a lawyer is no different from being a human, and the lawyers that I always find to be the most effective are the ones who treat their work with the same core values that drive anything else in their life. The types who take genuine interest in the clients they serve, the types who start emails with hi, and start Zoom calls with smiles and how are you. So if I may provide a piece of unsolicited advice to the amazing graduating students who have clearly achieved a lot in their life and during their time in law school, it would be to practice law with kindness, compassion, and respect, the same values that make for great people who would find themselves in a room like this. That's how Cathy Pew rolls, and we're trying to do the same. So thank you again, and congratulations to the class of 2024.
Savala, thank you for starting this ceremony with the most inspirational words. It's the way I'd like to start everything I do. Congratulations. I'm taking a minute to just look. You guys are incredible. My name is Deborah Schlossberg, and I direct the Pro Bono program, which is my great honor. You guys have made, you graduating students, have made us proud, you've made your families proud, you've made your friends proud, and I hope that you are feeling proud in your hearts and feel kind of coming out of your pores how much we are congratulating you and celebrating you today. You're gonna hear this over and over again, and you should take it all in. At Berkeley Law, pro bono work, the provision of free legal services to further the public interest and/or social justice is an integral part of the education and culture of our students. Erwin stole my line before, but you all have recorded over 35,000 hours of pro bono work in your time here. And the verb I use is recorded, because let's be real, you did not enter all your time. Beyond the numbers, you have kept tenants housed. You have secured the educational rights of foster youth. You have secured the release of clients from incarceration. Take that in. You have researched and advised on voting rights, affirmed the gender identity of your clients, and sought immigrant justice, just to name a few of your efforts. I'd like to recognize today our students who have made significant contributions to the community through your pro bono work. So first, you guys have done so much. First, I'd like to ask students who have been pro bono leaders of our Student-Initiated Legal Services Project, SLIPS, or our Berkeley Law Alternative Service TRIPS, BLAST, to either stand or raise your hand, whatever's comfortable for you. You are what make this work possible. Second, I'd like to ask all of the JD and LL.M students who have earned pro bono honors to stand or raise your hand so that we can recognize you. Third, I'd like to recognize the JD and LL.M students who've earned pro bono honors with highest distinction to raise your hands or stand up. Keep the clapping, yes. Thank you to you all for your effort, your passion, and your commitment. With your license to practice law comes the great privilege and responsibility to create access to justice. We know that you will keep this commitment when you graduate and enter the world as attorneys. Okay, now I'd like to present a very special award to two graduates, Ariane Walter and Ami Sharif. All right, Ariane, you're first. Okay. I'm going to try to look at Ariane and read my notes. Okay. Ariane, You have advanced and expanded Berkeley Law's commitment to public service through your leadership and commitment to creating access to legal services. You have done this in too many ways to count, including your creation and co-leadership of the Family Defense Project, your participation and leadership of Blaslanta, and the Youth Advocacy Project, and through your own long-standing commitment as a CASA advocate. In your nomination for this award, a group of fellow students and faculty wrote, "We cannot think of an individual who better exemplifies a commitment to the values of pro bono work than Ariane." I agree. It is not just how much pro bono work you have done, more than 800 hours, but how you connect with clients, classmates, and co-leaders. Your nominators wrote, "Ariane handles all of her public service commitments with passion, grace, and dedication. As her co-leaders across these various pro bono initiatives, we have never once seen her drop the ball on any of her various obligations to these efforts. Ariane is truly a marvel." Congratulations, Ariane, on this very deserved honor.
Thank you so much for this award. It's an honor to be here. And I'd like to take some time today to talk about my clients who I owe this award to. I chose Berkeley for the ability to do pro bono work starting our first semester. So I've been working with some of my clients for close to 3 years now. One of them was 10 years old when I first met him. He used to be smaller than me, and now he's an actual teenager, way taller than me, not that's pretty hard, and the funniest kid around, truly. Pro bono takes a lot of time, but that was the best use of my time. I've learned so much from my clients and have grown so much as a human being thanks to them. I remember starting law school thinking I wanted to represent kids in foster care. But I soon realized that my first client, my 10-year-old client, did not need to be in foster care at all. I saw firsthand the forces at play against my client's father, formerly incarcerated, unemployed, single Latino dad, who my client loves. This case was what we call a maintenance case, meaning his father did not do anything wrong, but the state still wanted them to be surveilled and report to the court every 6 months, or else risk my 10-year-old client's removal into stranger foster care. This made zero sense to me. I can happily say now that the case is finally closed, but this was not without a fight against the state. This experience brought me closer to youth defense and family defense to fight against the carceral state and its expansion into the lives of families of color. And I'm sure most people in this room know that this is not easy work. This is actually very, very hard work, but there's nothing else I'd rather do with my law degree. And I've spoken about my very first client, but I actually want to dedicate this award to another one of my clients. I first met this client when I was working at the youth jail in DC. He was the youngest child there, 12 years old. I remember seeing him for the first time, and my heart dropped. It's hard to see any child in prison, but a child this small was incomprehensible. He had a hard time sleeping. He just wanted to call his mom. He wanted to eat PB&J sandwiches and play Guess the Word. He was just a child. So when I got the news, just before Halloween, just before the MPRE, that he was killed by an off-duty police officer, I was completely wrecked, 12-year-old. Working inside the youth prison was already traumatizing, but this time I felt completely hopeless. I felt like everything I had done, trying to move the needle for the kids, was completely worthless. The whole entire system had failed him, and now he was gone. But I relied on my community for support and refused to give up. For him, for those before him, and for those after him, may there never be any. I think about him and his family all the time, so I would like to dedicate this award to his memory. Students here do amazing work on behalf of clients, and a lot of it doesn't qualify as pro bono, but is just as crucial, if not more important. So I want to give a shout out to everyone here in this room doing public interest work and particularly Greta, Justine, Kendrick, Isabel, Ami, all the people I've worked with, and the entire Pro Bono team. I also want to thank my family over there who made it here, some of them across the Atlantic Ocean, to celebrate my first graduation ever. It truly means the world to me that you're all here. Thank you so much.
Okay. Ami, I commend you for your extraordinary contributions to the Pro Bono program and your fellow students. You have done this in many ways, but most extensively through your leadership and participation in the Food Justice Project, your leadership of the first BLAST trip to Alaska, participation in the BLAST trip to Hawaii, and leadership of the Drug Policy Education and Decriminalization Project, a new SLIP project this year. As your nominators so aptly wrote, Ami is dedicated to supporting the communities she works with and to creating community amongst students involved in the Pro Bono program as well. We applaud the breadth of your work, from food justice to indigenous rights, to criminal justice reform, to environmental and energy advocacy. The substantive legal learning required and the diversity of thought you have exercised throughout is extraordinary. Your co-leaders from each of your pro bono efforts wrote in support of your nomination. Beyond the core legal skills they touched upon, the many ways you demonstrated strength as an advocate and as a leader. Your fellow students spoke to your organizational skills, your ability to instill students with a sense of historical and cultural competence before doing work that touches Indigenous and rural communities, and the successful relationship building you led with partner organizations like the Basic Needs Center. Your colleagues shared, Ami embodies the ethos of advocacy and breathes the same spirit and drive for ethical lawyering into each and every one of her peers. Berkeley Law is tremendously blessed to have her as part of our student body, and we really, truly are. Congratulations to you, Ami, on receiving the Pro Bono Champion Award. We are so happy to have you here.
Hi, everyone. I'm so deeply honored and touched to be receiving this award and to share it with Ariane, who I admire so much. Coming to law school, I knew I wanted to do public interest work, and I picked Berkeley because of the Pro Bono program and the emphasis on social justice and opportunity to engage in community lawyering. I remember reading about slips and blasts and scrolling through the Pro Bono program website and thinking, I want to do this. Like, this is why I want to come to law school. Doing pro bono work has truly been the highlight of my legal education. I'm someone who's really motivated by community, by working in the community, finding ways to serve my community and those that have lifted me up, and to create community in the spaces I operate within. And the Pro Bono program has really helped me do all of that while at law school. As Deborah mentioned, I've been a part of 2 slips, FJP and Decrim, and 2 blasts to Hawaii and Alaska while here, and these places have been my home here at Berkeley Law. They've been the foundation for some of the most special friendships I've had and have enabled me to stay present and engaged to my why. FJP was one of my first homes here at Berkeley Law. The leaders then, Kelsey, Eunice, and Jared, really created a welcoming environment that let us explore our interests within the realm of food justice. I loved serving our clients and helping them navigate CalFresh and the appeals process with their amazing supervising attorney, Erin, at EBCLC. But our leaders also gave us space to support and grow the organization. We started doing policy work with California Rural Legal Assistance and work with the Basic Needs Center to help increase awareness about CalFresh and the appeals process. I'm so thankful to our former leaders, our supervising attorney, and my amazing 6 co-leaders, Cami, Gabby, Natalie, Sasha, Yuhan, and Sherry, and the lovely members that I got the joy of meeting and working with. The freedom to grow with the organization and support of my classmates really expanded my vision of what was possible through the Pro Bono program. I was super fortunate to get to join the last Hawaii trip in my 1L and return home to Hawaii to work on projects that were the reason why I wanted to go to law school in the first place. My experiences working with the Native Hawaiian Legal Corporation meant so much to me to see how what I was learning in the classroom directly applied to the world around me and my community that I wanted to serve. I was so lucky to get to work on water rights work and land rights research for Native Hawaiian communities. This is one of the highlights of my 1L experience, and I'm grateful for my leaders then, Amanda, Micah, and Ian, and my fellow Blasties, Steph, Nani, Isabel, and Karen. During a break in my 1L spring property class, I was talking about this blast trip with all of my friends, and my dear friend Drake was there and mentioned that he would love to do something similar to serve his home state of Alaska. And as Drake does, he made it happen. He started a blast trip, and I was so honored that he trusted me to help carry that vision out to fruition. Being able to engage with incredibly important issues facing rural Alaska and Alaska Native communities was another highlight of my law school experience, and I'm so thankful to my wonderful co-leader and friend Drake, who continues to inspire me in how he works with others and moves through the world, and our supervising attorneys at First Alaskans Institute and Alaska Public Interest Research Group, and our wonderful BLAST members, many of whom have continued to be some of my closest friends. In my 1L, I joined the Public Health Law Student Organization, and I met Mia, where we connected on our shared interest in care for harm reduction work. She told me about some pro bono work that her and her friend Grace were doing with Drug Policy Alliance, and they kindly allowed me to join them in that work, which we turned into a harm reduction and decriminalization slip in our 3L. Seeing not only one, but 2 pro bono projects start and flourish here at the law school has been an amazing experience, and I'm so grateful for the entire pro bono team who supported us with everything, as well as my co-leaders, Mia and Grace, who are some of the most caring and thoughtful people I've had the pleasure of working and leading and laughing with, as well as our supervising attorney, Gray, who has been with us through many trials and tribulations in the inception phases of it all, and our amazing members who are carrying on the mantle. After graduation, I'll be returning to the Pacific, which I'm super grateful for, to clerk at the Superior Court of Hawaii, or at Guam, sorry, but I'd like to go back home to Hawaii. And I'm planning on working in environmental justice work afterwards. Graduation and getting through upper education is a team effort, and I'm so, so grateful for everyone I have in my corner, my family, my friends, my mom and my dad, my oma, appa, my sister. And it means the world to me to be recognized with this award. It truly feels like a full circle moment for me, from browsing the Pro Bono program's website to being here with all of my lovely peers. Thank you again to everyone who has supported me, lifted me up, and thank you for the kind words, Deborah.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jonathan Glader. I'm on the faculty here at the law school, and I'm lucky in that the winners I'm going to be introducing both took a class with me. It's my honor to present this year's winners of the Eleanor Swift Award. Professor Eleanor Swift was a path-breaking evidence scholar, a trailblazer for women in the legal academy, and a mentor to countless students over more than 30 years on the faculty at this law school. And she also played a leading role in establishing the school's public interest and experiential programs, to which this year's 2 award winners have shown such commitment. So in alphabetical order, the first winner is Adriana Hardwick. If you could join me up here. So I'm going to say just a few brief and insufficient words about Adriana, and then turn to the second winner after giving Adriana a chance to speak. And I'm drawing here from the nomination letters and some inside information I have about Adriana. So your work over the 3 years here at the law school has led to expanded public interest opportunities across the institution. You've helped generate at least $120,000 in additional funding for public interest students here. You co-fundraised $24,000 for La Alianza's public interest scholarships, created the Bar Prep matching program that saved Berkeley Law's public interest students over $100,000 in fees. You are leading... Not done yet. You are leading a campaign to raise $15 million in annual funding for public interest, public service law students, not just at this law school, but across the UC law school system. Now you can clap. Along the way, you have helped bring together law students from across the system and empowered them to advocate for more public interest and public service funding. Your work illustrates an inspiring mix of idealism and pragmatism. It takes hard work to do good work. Beyond these pragmatic efforts to promote public interest here, you have committed yourself to the cause of educational equity, near and dear to me. You've worked for the East Bay Community Law Center's Education Justice Clinic, Berkeley's Foster Education Project, Public Advocates, and the U.S. Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division. Your student note, forthcoming in the California Law Review, explores educational institutions' responses to California's Proposition 209. You've researched related topics for me as an RA over the past year, and it's remarkable how many times I would say, I want you to go get me information on topic X. And Adriana would come to me and say, well, before law school, I worked on that issue, and actually I'm kind of an expert. Really helpful in an RA. You worked on that note in my education law class last year, that you wrote such a compelling piece while still excelling in all of the commitments that I've just listed is a testament to your time management, but also to dedication, self-discipline, and skill. I cannot wait to see what you're going to do next, and I look forward to trying to claim as much of the credit as I plausibly can. So with that, I will surrender the microphone.
Upside down, okay. Thank you so much, Professor Glader, for your kind words and all of the support that you've given me while at Berkeley Law. It's really an honor to be here receiving this award. I want to first thank everyone on the Eleanor Swift Selection Committee and to everyone involved in planning this event. I know a lot of work goes into it, and it's really special to have this opportunity to celebrate with everyone, so thank you. Thank you also to the group of people who took time out of their lives to nominate me for this. Thank you to Josh for coordinating everything, to Dean Stern, Ariane, Sasha, Nani, Maripa, Graciela, Adrian, and Dean Glader for taking the time to do that. It means the world. I also really want to thank my family, a lot of whom are with me today. I know I wouldn't be here in law school, I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for them. I'm really grateful to have been raised in a family that taught me the fundamental importance of caring about other people and doing work to make a society a better place. Again, I know I wouldn't be here without you, and I'm so inspired by you, so thank you to my family. I'm also really honored to be up here with a group of students who I have admired so much throughout law school, and specifically, it's such a joy to be up here with Ariane, who I've looked up to throughout law school. Our paths have crossed a lot because we are interested in similar lines of work, so we've had the opportunity to do a lot together. But this year it was really incredible to be able to serve on the public interest, I don't even know what the committee is called. It's a faculty committee, I don't know what the name is. Public Interest Support Committee with Ariane as our student representatives, and I already knew this, but this year I learned that if you're looking to get something done, you need to go to Ariane. She is gonna get it done. She was the first person I went to when I learned that the USC law schools would be losing millions of dollars in funding that used to go directly to law students who are doing public interest work. I'm so grateful to her and to Sasha, who joined us shortly after, for immediately jumping behind my idea to start a campaign, as almost done with Law School 3Ls. We started that campaign in January, and though we haven't secured the funding yet, I'm really proud that in the span of just a few months, we built a statewide campaign. We found leaders at every UC law school. We met with legislators around the state. We built a sustainable campaign that will outlive us with leaders from every law school who are going to keep pushing for this next year. So even though we haven't gotten the money yet, fingers crossed, future generations of law students will be able to have more support. I also couldn't be more grateful to all of our friends who showed up for us throughout that campaign, from researching and taking meetings with state legislators like 2 days after we told you that was going to happen, to waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning to drive across the Bay Bridge and speak at UC Regents meetings. You all are the best friends we could ask for, and it meant the world to know I could count on my friends. I'll conclude by saying that it's really an honor to be recognized by this award named after Eleanor Swift. I spent some time reading about Professor Swift, and I understand that I have her to thank for pretty much every meaningful experience I had at Berkeley Law, from doing an EBCLC clinic to spending a semester in DC doing a field placement. I'm so grateful to Professor Swift, to all of the faculty, staff, and students that have come since Professor Swift to continue to make Berkeley Law an even better place for public interest and social justice work. It's really been an honor to play just a small part in that and to get to do it with all of you, so thank you.
Also winning the award this year is Ariane Walter, whom you've already met. In your 3 years on campus, you have participated in many of the law school's established public service opportunities and have also created new ones, we've heard. You've participated in local and national efforts to make public interest careers more affordable and accessible to students, expanded support available to low-income families who are involved in the child welfare system, and worked to expand support available for incarcerated youth and adults. Throughout, you have demonstrated both empathy and skill. I'm going to skip some of what I was going to tell you because I was scooped by the prior speaker. But you've gone above and beyond as an advocate and have also pushed in the communities you've been a part of to become fairer and more humane in the process. Your efforts will leave a lasting impact on this institution and the East Bay. All of the service work that you have done is a reflection of the very best values of the Berkeley Law community. Apparently, you've logged so many pro bono hours that the tracker stopped recording, so I'm not exactly sure where that number came from that you heard before. Somehow, you have also written a paper in that same class, now published in the Disability Law Journal at UCLA, and I remember suggesting to you that you submit that paper for their consideration, and I think you thought I was being ridiculous. I wasn't. It was a display of humility on your part that speaks well of you, but is perhaps belied by the facts. That paper addressed the incarceration of young people with disabilities, and this is a population you've also worked to support through the Youth Advocacy Project, which is a student-led initiative that supports incarcerated and formerly incarcerated children. You've also played a critical role in ensuring that it could continue, and that's testimony to your vision and dedication. I can't wait to see what you do next either. And I also look forward to trying to claim as much credit as I plausibly can. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. This is an honor. I just took a few seconds to write Greta and Justin's name next to mine, because this award is not a testament of my work, but our work, the three of us, and there is no way I would have received this award without Greta and Justine. So this is for you. The Eleanor Swift Award is given to students who have strengthened Berkeley Law's commitment to public interest. And when I think about our legacy in this school, it is family defense. The three of us have worked so hard for the past 3 years to convince the school and the community to care more deeply about low-income families of color whose civil rights are constantly being violated in court, and to encourage the school to think about long-term sustainable solutions for families in our own community. For those of you who might not know us, we created the Family Defense Project during our first year to raise awareness about the racism and classism in family court. In Alameda County, right here, more than 80% of the children in foster care are Black or Latino. We also wanted to encourage the school and students to think about family defense as a civil rights issue and an essential part of holistic defense. From the beginning, we had a vision. We had a vision that this project, student-led project, had to become a clinic to ensure sustainable, quality, holistic legal representation for parents in our community right here. So the recent announcement that the law school accepted to create a family defense clinic is truly the sweetest end to our time here. It is a testament to the student advocacy and organizing that was put into making this a reality, and it will, without any doubt, revolutionize parent representation throughout the state of California. So Greta and Justine, this is for you, and I love you. Advocating for the clinic reminded me of the value and importance of community, intentionality, and as cheesy as it sounds, friendship. I realized I thrived being part of community organizing work. So when Adriana talked about starting a campaign to ask for more funding for public interest students, I was all in. And it's been a highlight of my last few months here. So thank you so much, Adriana. And while both of our student advocacy is being recognized today, there's a lot of amazing and fearless student advocacy happening right now at the encampment on Sproul, calling for the end to war in Gaza that is not receiving the recognition it deserves. As public interest students, we have been taught to care about the indigent and the oppressed. We attend a university where that is emphasized. We're part of a community where we're encouraged to think about all the injustices incorporated in our legal system, to analogize and come to our conclusions that something is wrong and something must be done. Despite that, students have been dissuaded from speaking up. But when I talk about my work in family defense and youth defense today, I'm also talking about my hope to build a world free from state violence and oppression, where all families can be safe, healthy, and together, not only my clients, but also families who have been forcibly separated in Gaza for the past 6 months. At the end of the day, we're all here making the best use of our time for the issues we deeply care about. Let this award be a testament to all student efforts to bring about a world free from oppression and violence. It always means something to speak up and try to move the needle, because if we don't do anything, we're working against ourselves. I am amazed by everyone's advocacy over the past 3 years, and I can't wait to see where we all go next. I'm pretty confident Greta, Justin, and I will create a nonprofit in the future, so stay tuned for that. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and hello, dear class of 2024. My name is Lucy Benz-Rogers, and on behalf of the Career Development Office, and more specifically as one of your public interest attorney counselors, it is my great honor to offer you a really hearty congratulations today. To begin, I want to highlight just one of the many signifiers of your hard work these past years and your inspiring commitment to public interest and social justice lawyering. Would those graduates who spent 2 summers working in public interest, public sector positions, please stand, raise your hand, or make some noise so that we can recognize you. Thank you all. One of the great privileges of our work at the CDO is having a front row seat as each one of you has forged a pathway and toiled to make your public interest goals a reality. We recognize that this is likely often felt like swimming upstream, and it is not always easy to bring your personal goals and your vision for the world at large to fruition. But time after time, if you can't already tell from the speeches we've heard today, we have seen you do exactly that in varied and thrilling ways. To give just a few brief illustrations, the class of 2024 includes 3 Skadden Fellows, the second highest number of all law schools nationwide, and 4 Equal Justice Works Fellows so far. These fellows were selected for these highly competitive programs due to the brilliant projects that they designed to meet unmet legal needs in areas such as immigration defense, workers' rights, reproductive rights, criminal justice reform, tenants' rights, and more. We have 7 graduates who will be participating in the California Attorney General Honors Program, 5 from the class of 2024, and 2 recent alumni, which is the highest of any school and a Berkeley law record. Your passion for transformative impact litigation, ability to advocate for yourselves as public interest lawyers, has led to our inaugural Plaintiff Side Fair this spring, which was the first of its kind nationwide. We have also seen exceptionally large numbers of you dedicate your summers and your future careers to making a tangible impact through direct legal services, which I have to say warms my heart in particular as a former direct service attorney. And for those who will be entering judicial clerkships after graduation, nearly half of you worked for public interest, government, or plaintiff side employers during both your 1L and 2L summers. This class has demonstrated an incredible array of passions and trajectories spanning the country and even the globe, pushing forward change through impact litigation, enacting cutting-edge policy at all levels of government, leading the next wave of grassroots community-based organizing, and advocating for a wide array of underserved communities and important social issues. So thank you for letting the CDO and the Berkeley Law community as a whole be a part of this journey, and for continuing to inspire us and those in your communities. We are so proud of each and every one of you, and we wish you all the best. And to echo both Savala and John Lewis, go make some good trouble. Congratulations, everyone.
Hello, everyone. My name is Laura Riley, and I'm the director of the clinical program, and I am so happy to be here today to represent the clinics. As you know, the 14 clinics that we offer here with the East Bay Community Law Center work to advance racial, social, and economic justice. Along with the shared goal of advancing justice is another common thread that the immersive clinic experience, which can often be intense, is also meaningful and hopefully joyful too, in large part because of the connections that you form during clinic. I think Ariane said that maybe celebrating friendships is cheesy, but I don't think it's cheesy at all. I think it's part of what sustains us in our work for clients and for our community. We hope that as you graduate, you'll remember to nurture these connections, to lean on each other as you continue in your professional lives, and to reach out to us, your colleagues, as well as you do that. The work that you did in clinic is no doubt already impactful, but hopefully the work that you did while in clinic will continue to resonate with you as you graduate, whether you are pursuing social justice work full-time through pro bono work, or if you're thinking of entering leadership positions in any other sector. Through your clinic work, you have the skills, and through a lot of the other work that you've done while here at Berkeley Law, to ethically make meaningful change through policy, through litigation, through supporting movements, and to imagine ways that will build on movements and reimagine how change-making happens in our world for years to come. We are so proud of each of you here today and of our clinic students, and we are privileged to celebrate you. And with that, I'd like to ask all students who completed one semester of clinics to raise your hand so that we can clap. Woo! And I know there are many of you who did 2 semesters, so keep your hands up if you did 2 semesters of clinics. All right, what about 3? Any 3-semester clinics? And I know there's at least a couple of you who did 4 semesters. All right. Congratulations. And I will hand it over to Megan to announce the first of the 3 clinic focused awards.
Good afternoon, everyone. Where am I going to put this? Okay. Hi, my name is Megan, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you. Oh, there's 2? Oh, Gabby won a lot of awards. Okay, Gabby is an absolute force of nature, and I am thrilled that she has been selected to win the Sax Prize this year. I couldn't hear when people turned before, so Gabby, I'm not going to look at you. I'm just going to look out. Gabby has worked at the East Bay Community Law Center's housing clinic her entire law school career. And yes, so many claps. And we could not be more grateful. Gabby started as a first-year student in our tenants' rights workshop, where she counseled dozens of tenants facing housing instability. Luckily for EBCLC and me, she decided to join the housing clinic in her second year and never looked back. In her 2 years as a clinical law student, Gabby moved mountains. She represented tenants in more than 30 eviction lawsuits and secured just over $600,000 in relocation payments to tenants and rent waivers for those same clients. I love it. And when I say she represented the tenants, I mean exactly that. While I, of course, supervised her, as I am required to do, Gabby was the true leader on her cases. She would create case plans, propose legal research, manage clients, dive into fact development, negotiate with opposing counsel, and keep me in check. And her incredible legal acumen and work ethic were only outmatched by her compassion and genuine commitment to her clients. While I truly wish I could share all the stories of Gabby's clients, I only have 2 minutes, so I must choose one. For more than a year, Gabby represented a family with 3 school-age kids at risk of losing their home of more than 10 years based on an illegal eviction. The family lived in a rent-controlled apartment that had been sold to a developer who plainly admitted that he wanted to evict them so he could find new, higher-paying tenants. When we took the case on, the parents in this family were so worn down after months and months of harassment from their landlord. Gabby dove into the case, collaborating for a time with fabulous Cinnamon, also graduating. Yes, Cinnamon. And she reviewed more than 1,000 pages of documents, prepared for multiple depositions, and most importantly, gained the trust of our client. So much so that when Gabby went on summer vacation, our client frequently told me how much she missed her. In the end, Gabby drafted a motion that threw the case out and was eventually able to secure a $50,000 settlement payment for the family, who then relocated to a new affordable unit. Gabby, it has truly been my privilege to work alongside you these past 2 years. I must say that working in eviction defense has never been an easy job. The crises and injustices our clients face truly weighs on my soul. And when I'm asked by my friends and my family how I keep fighting in such a broken system, I tell them that I look for moments of inspiration to keep me going. For the past 2 years, Gabby has been one of my strongest sources of inspiration. She has reminded me of the immeasurable power of one committed and brilliant advocate. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you so much for choosing to fight with us in this fight and for your endless compassion, dedication, and wit. Congratulations. I don't know. Here. There you go.
Thank you. That was way too much. That was too much, Megan. I think I speak for everyone when I say we do not do this work for awards. Nonetheless, I am very grateful to be in front of all of you today, and a special thank you to the Sax family and to the selection committee for their continuous support for Berkeley Law Clinical students over the years. I'm really excited to be up here, not because I love public speaking, but because I get the chance to tell you how much the housing clinic was the most meaningful experience that I did at Berkeley Law. Working in the clinic was amazing because I got to work with amazing attorneys and staff who are really dedicated to their work in a way that I honestly was just like every day. I was like so excited to get up and go to work because I was working with them. And they really are at the front lines of the housing crisis. And it was the greatest privilege to spend 2+ years learning from them. I worked directly with tenants, as Megan mentioned, mostly low-income people of color, to save their housing or prevent immediate displacement because of an eviction, which is one of the most traumatic and stressful situations a person or a family can go through. I specifically looked for law schools that had a housing clinic. I specifically looked for schools where I could immediately, as some folks have mentioned before, jump in and start working now, and that I was empowered to do that. And at EBCLC, I found that. One case specifically, different client, so I'm glad you didn't talk about the one I was going to talk about, because I would have been like, cut the speech. So I met this client on a day when we were in court. She was sitting right outside the courthouse. She got paperwork saying that she was going to be evicted, and this client, she was Spanish-speaking, elderly client. She had been in her unit in Oakland for 20 years, and her landlord was trying to evict her. So I went over and talked to her, and she said her landlord didn't show up. I was like, that's great news. That's great news. And she knew something was fishy was going on, so we were able to get the court to delay the trial so she at least would have more time. The next day I went to Megan and I said, Megan, I need to do something. We need to figure out what we can do for this client or it will break me. I literally told you that. And she was like, yes, let's do it. So I went to the client's house, I interviewed her, I poured over the termination notice trying to look for a reason to get the case thrown out. When I couldn't find anything, I went to legendary lawyer Mark Janowitz, who was like, here's an idea. He's like, okay, what about this? Let's look into this. We hadn't written that motion before, but maybe we could, it's something. So in like 2 days, I wrote this motion for summary judgment. We sent it to the other side. I went to court, on the client's behalf, and I didn't throw up, which is the first win. Made eye contact with the judge. That was really hard. That was really, really difficult. And I also won the motion, so the client got to say, yeah. This is just one example of where students can really, really make a difference when they're given the opportunity and support to do so. How I will approach being a lawyer has been fundamentally shaped by my experience working with the housing team, and they are very fierce, very fearless. I will be a better lawyer because I had the chance to work with them, and specifically my supervisor, Megan, who has, Megan! She believed in me more than I believed in myself on most days, which is a really great thing to experience as a student, especially like first-gen student, no lawyers in my family. It was really great to go to work every day and you have someone who like believes in you. And then like I believe in myself now way more than I did 2 years ago because of Megan. So thank you so much, Megan. She's definitely a mentor, maybe a friend. Friends, maybe I'll be upgraded. So I also know now that lawyers can be cool and fun. To wrap up, I want to say thank you so much to my family and my parents. I'm proud to say that they're both immigrants to this country. They're survivors or fled a U.S.-funded war in Nicaragua, so I'm very proud to call them my parents, and I'm up here because of them. And last but not least, my partner, Marcelo. Say hi. He's been my biggest cheerleader, almost also a lawyer, pretty much. I mean, he's heard enough at this point. Thank you so much again to the Sax family, and congratulations to everyone. I'm so proud of you. We did it. Let's get out of here. Thank you.
I didn't realize how much I needed this. This is being in a room full of people who refuse to be bystanders is really inspirational. Thank you. So I'm Roxana Althos. I co-direct the Human Rights Clinic, and I'm going to be reading the words of Taiba Bajwa, who's a clinical supervising attorney and nominated Cassidy for honorable mention for the Sax Prize, and Cassidy won honorable mention. I will do it without the accent, although I'll do it without the accent. Okay. Cassidy has been, Cassidy has been a student with the Human Rights Clinic since 2023. Right from the very start, she has been a superstar. We've been working on a project seeking to file a wholly innovative case addressing state obligations under international human rights law to regulate social media companies in relation to online harms to children. Cassidy has been the only team member to see the project through from the beginning to the end of this semester. That is entirely consistent with her level of dedication to the clinic and to the issue. She has made working on what has felt at times to be an amorphous and challenging project such an absolute joy. Law school, and especially human rights, is often filled with those who are well able to champion their own abilities. Cassidy is the opposite of that. She works tirelessly with enthusiasm, heart, and diligence for the benefit of the client without any need for recognition or reward. This nomination goes some way to recognize her brilliance. She's a fantastic lawyer, a fantastic human, and will no doubt go on to achieve all sorts of brilliant things. She will be dearly missed in the clinic, and we cannot thank her enough for all that she has done for us. Congratulations, Kathy.
Thank you so much, Professor Althos. I am so honored to even be mentioned in the same space as such incredible fellow awardees. I'm in awe of everything that you all have done. I've said it before, and I will say it again, that the International Human Rights Law Clinic was without a doubt the best part of my law school experience. I spent the first year and a half of law school with sort of a nagging worry in the back of my mind that maybe I just liked being a student, but wouldn't actually like being a lawyer. And within just a few weeks of being a part of the Human Rights Clinic, that fear completely disappeared. If my future law career is even a fraction as interesting or fulfilling as my clinic experience has been, then I'm sure I'm going to love being a lawyer. The experience has meant so much to me that fully expressing my gratitude feels like an impossible task without talking all of your ears off for hours, but I'll do my best very briefly. I am grateful for the work itself. In my wildest law school dreams, I never imagined I would get to be a part of a strategic human rights litigation from its very inception. And it's been so exciting to be a part of that case's evolution from its very first days to being something fully fledged and formed that will be submitted to a human rights tribunal, hopefully in this calendar year. I truly loved every draft, every footnote, and every meeting that it took to get to that point. I'm grateful for all of our attorney partners at the Open Society Justice Initiative, Center for Human Rights at the University of Pretoria, and Amnesty International for the trust they placed in our team and for their thoughtful guidance through our work. I am so very grateful for Taiba Bajwa, our team supervisor, confidant, role model, and champion. Not only is Taiba an actual genius, but even in the face of the many challenges that come with human rights work, Taiba has an unstoppable warmth and joy that touches and blesses everyone she interacts with. I am so incredibly lucky to have benefited from her mentorship. And finally, I am so grateful to my teammates, Emma McPhee, Paloma Palmer, and Sophie Lombardo. I couldn't have asked for better people to learn with and from, and what a blast it was to laugh together through it all. Thank you to the Sax family so much for this honor, and thank you to all who make the clinical programs at Berkeley Law possible.
Hi. My name is Mridula Raman, and I'm here to present the Clea Outstanding Clinical Student Award. Clea is the Clinical Legal Education Association. It's a national organization. And this award goes to a student here who has done excellent work in both the field work and seminar components of clinic. And I am so thrilled to be presenting this award to Grace Erger for her brilliant work in the death penalty clinic this year. Grace and a lot of her teammates are in this room right now. Grace has spent most of this year working on a case where our client could face an execution date soon. It is a taxing case to work on, but she developed a full-scale operation to identify, speak to, and get support from a whole new set of witnesses who are now advocating for our client. Everyone in the clinic has participated in this operation under Grace's direction, and as a result of her tremendous skill, effort, and leadership, we now have over 30 new critical witnesses speaking out for our client. Sorry, this is going to take longer than 2 minutes. I'm so sorry. This is not the kind of work that has ever been done before in this jurisdiction, so it means the world to our work on this case. It has also meant the world to our client to know that all these folks support him, and it is all because of Grace. And I want to make this a bit concrete. It's not just about thinking up a name and showing up at someone's door and saying hey, do you support our client? Grace has scoured old records for potential witnesses, tracked down folks who are close to off the grid, truly connected with these witnesses, and worked with them to do the really difficult thing of signing a statement under penalty of perjury in a capital case. She even got a witness to sign a statement while she was on their porch getting savaged by red ants. This work has physically scarred Grace. But she never stopped trucking, and her commitment to the people oppressed by our carceral system is unflagging. As importantly, Grace lifts up everyone around her. In a year that has often been emotionally brutal, she has been a pillar of support for her family, her friends, and of course, our community and clinic. She's a person people lean on when they're in need, whether they need somewhere to stay, to get away from things for a moment, a shoulder to cry on, or someone to talk to when they're in crisis. And it doesn't hurt that she has the most infectious laugh. So I thought about telling a bad joke to try and get you to laugh, but I will pass. So, Grace, it has been a joy and a privilege to work alongside you this year and to get to know you and to learn so much from the compassion and kindness and heart with which you move through the world. As we've said, students like you make clinical teaching the best job in the world, and Ty and I are so glad to have been a small part of your journey. Thank you for everything you've done for our clients and our community. I have to make it
Thank you so much. I can't tell you what it means to be presented this award by Myrtala. Myrtala is everything you could absolutely want in a supervisor, a mentor, and a friend. She is absolutely brilliant in a way that would be intimidating if she wasn't so generous with her knowledge. She's exceedingly kind, but you can always trust her to tell the truth. She challenges her students to be the best that we can be while also always making us feel supported. I also feel incredibly fortunate that I had the opportunity to work with Ty Alper this year. Ty is a brilliant lawyer and the type of person who you know will always be in your corner when you need him. I know that I can count on Ty to talk through a complicated issue just as much as I can count on him to crack a joke when it's needed most. Ty, despite being incredibly knowledgeable, is forever curious about the world and learning new things in a way I think we should all aspire to. No one does anything alone, and I am so grateful to be part of an incredible community. I want to thank my family for always loving and supporting me, especially my mom and my sister, who are right there, Georgia and my mom. And my baby nephew, Irving, who's up in the overflow room. I also just want to thank my friends who I've met here along the way. You all just mean the world to me. You inspire me, you support me, you love me, and I couldn't do anything without you. This has been a hard year for many different reasons, not least of which is the ongoing genocide unfolding in front of our eyes. We live in a country where our tax dollars are funding the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians and attend a school where our tuition dollars are invested in companies that arm and support the ongoing murder, bombing, and starvation of 2 million Palestinian people in Gaza. We go to a school where there are many students, many of them a part of our public interest community, who have spent countless hours organizing against these atrocities and yet receive little recognition for this work. As I am accepting this award, Rafa is burning. In the face of that reality, everything can feel futile. There are so many things that we have no control over, and we are often unsure if we have the power to make a difference. Working in the death penalty clinic this year has made that powerlessness easier to bear, because in the clinic, we are given the opportunity to do anti-death work, to put our fear and our anxiety and our drive to make a difference into the concrete goal of fighting for our client. It has been my great privilege to do this work with a group of people who constantly make the choice to do the work that they believe in, not knowing whether it will make a difference or whether anything will change, but because the only other option is not to try. One of the best things that being in DPC has taught me is how to cultivate a community of hope in the face of despair. Myrtla and Ty have made this possible through the way that they teach and mentor us. Neither of them is known for sugarcoating things. They are reliably honest when things are bad, and the state of affairs in death penalty work, as it is in Palestinian organizing, is often dire. But despite their refusal to make believe fairy tales, I think I can speak for most of the students in the clinic that we're not leaving without hope. That hope comes from having a community that supports each other, of having supervisors who will always pick up the phone for any emergency, but who are also there for the moments in between, who will send you jazzercise videos to watch when something sad happens, who will yell at you to be excited, who will make endless Canada jokes or tell you to pull it together at just the right moment. That hope also comes from having classmates who bring you soup when you're sick, who will take you on walks to see ducks when you feel sad, who will help you make presents for your family, and who will tease you mercilessly at all the right times. It is in this space that I have gotten to spend most of the year, a space where we get to talk about social justice, abolition, and the connections between those struggles and global struggles to decolonize, to dismantle state violence, and to fight against apartheid and genocide. That has not been the case for many students. In Gaza, there are no schools to go to right now. Across the United States, students are being arrested and brutalized for speaking out against genocide. At Berkeley, students' names and identifying information, largely that of students of color, have been plastered on trucks driving around the school. We have had professors write articles asking that pro-Palestine students not be hired. We have had students lose jobs and scholarships for doing pro-Palestine work. Students have been the subject of many critical op-eds written by our very own professors. All of this while the administration has done nothing to offer support to students and instead has actively tried to dampen the will and ability of their students to protest. Knowing that, it means even more to have spent the year in a space where there is a commitment to be together, to hold space for one another, and to listen and learn from each other. It's been an absolute honor to be supervised and mentored by two people who always do their best to do what's right, who will always stand up for their students, even when it's hard, and who are fearless in their drive to make the world a better place. None of us are free until all of us are free. Free Palestine. Thank you.
Hello. Is it too mom-like to say I'm proud of you? I'm proud. Yes. I am Kristen Holmquist, and I am here to celebrate those of you who did public interest work and community work in field placements during your 3 years here. So if you spent time in a field placement, would you please raise your hand? And it is my great pleasure to award Kat Riley Harlow the Outstanding Externship Student Award. Kat did 3 separate field placements with the Transgender Legal Defense and Education Fund, the TGIA TGIJP Justice Project and the Transgender Law Center, as well as summer internships at EBCLC and Lambda Legal. Supervisors and lecturers who worked with Kat all gush about her professionalism, her commitment, her curiosity. She digs way in to learn about what her clients need and support them in their causes in authentic and excellent ways. We know wherever Kat's path takes her, the world will be lucky to get her sincere and smart advocacy on behalf of transgender and gender variant communities. Please congratulate Kat. Kat couldn't be here today, but there is a live feed, so hopefully she's seeing this. But she did send remarks, so I am going to read her remarks now. I'd like to thank all the people in the field placement and pro bono offices who empower us as students to do meaningful work and give back to our communities. I'd also like to specifically thank Sue Schechter for all of your support while I did my field placements. You've taken so much interest in my work and future career, and I appreciate the advice you've given me throughout my time at law school. I'd also like to thank Deborah Schlossberg. When Peyton Sharp proposed an LGBTQ+ litigation slip and asked me to be one of the co-leaders, you are so hands-on as we turned our ideas into reality, and I'm so proud of the work that we've done in the Queer Justice Project slip with your help. Pro bono and field placement work has been the heart of my law school experience. This work has kept me grounded in the reasons I came here in the first place. Burnout and disillusionment is a widely discussed problem for law students. For many of us, it's hard to read decisions in class like 303 Creative or Dobbs without viewing the law as a harmful system designated to subjugate us and the people we love. But public interest work has been a reminder to me that the law can be more than a cold, hard struggle for power. That at its best, law is about the connections we nurture inwardly with ourselves and outwardly with our communities. Through public interest work, I've been able to help transgender youth and adults get name and gender marker change court orders. I've been able to help clients appeal denials of disability benefits that they desperately needed and deserved. I've been able to work on impact litigation issues affecting the LGBTQ+ community, including legal challenges to Florida's Don't Say Gay censorship law and numerous laws targeting transgender young people. In doing this work, I've received so much mentorship from supervising attorneys, both professionally and personally. I've collaborated with fellow law students, both from Berkeley Law and from law schools across the country. I've made close friends while doing this work, friendships that mean so much to me, and because they are built on shared values. I've been so inspired by clients who are often going through the struggles I'm experiencing as well. The ways they resist and fight back against injustice has inspired me. This work has helped me find my confidence and my voice and taught me how to better stand up for myself and my community. I leave law school with my heart full and with so much gratitude for the connections I've shared with others through public interest work. For me, public interest work has been a practice of caring for myself, for my clients, for my colleagues, and for my community. I'm excited to continue developing and nurturing this practice of care in my future career, and I'm grateful for the opportunities I had while at Berkeley Law to begin my first chapter in public interest work. Congratulations to Kat.
None of us are free until all of us are free. Fannie Lou Hamer. And Grace, thank you. My name is Zoe Polk, and I'm the Executive Director of the East Bay Community Law Center. And we are the largest clinical education and legal aid provider in California. And we have the distinct privilege of being a 35-year partner with Berkeley Law School. In that time, we trained hundreds of students to be lawyers of integrity, but also leaders. On behalf of our team of staff, our clients, and our community, I want to say thank you to every one of you who have volunteered your hours and your time with EBCLC during your course of your career at Berkeley Law. Can I see a show of hands of all of you in the audience today? Thank you. we have attention to training lawyers for you all going out and advancing justice. Just as much attention to you all becoming leaders, becoming people who are serving on boards, serving in committees, becoming legislators, and seeing the world through the eyes of our clients and the people that you worked with during your time at EBCLC. Sometimes our student leaders determine that they have more to give, that after preventing people from being evicted, after winning thousands of dollars of income support, and after summoning all of their lived experiences and pouring those into legal strategies for our clients, they have more to give. Jocelyn Gomez and Gabby Arias are both two of those leaders. Jocelyn is alumni of our health and welfare program, and Gabby, you'll hear from this side of the room, is alumni of our housing program. They answered that call and they joined our board of directors. Both of them were incredibly impactful and as leaders and as thought partners. Joining a team of our board, which is made up of in-house counsel, senior partners, of Stanford law professors, could be absolutely intimidating. But Gabby and Jocelyn quickly established their unique value to the board, weighing in on strategy decisions, new student recruitment, and engagement. While their term on our board is sunsetting as they graduate, we will always be grateful for the impact that they left at EBCLC. So thank you both.
It looks like we're one of the last between you and beverages. So I just have to say that EBCLC is doing incredible work across the board. It's why I came to Berkeley Law. Their Women of Color-centered platform specifically is really setting the standard for how we approach social justice work, and we're really grateful to be a part of that excellence and just striving for long-term social change. Specifically as a soon-to-be alumni, pending the outcome of a property final, so who really knows if this is all premature? I'm really excited to see the relationship between Berkeley and East Bay Community Law Center grow and really build as it has over time. So that is mostly what I'm really hoping to share. And the communities that EBCLC works with, they know that something unjust is happening to them. And so working with clients has really shown me that as lawyers, we're uniquely positioned to stand alongside our clients to combat those systems of oppression. And it's truly been a privilege to work at EBCLC.
Like Gabby, this partnership is exactly why I came to Berkeley Law School. I still remember the essay that we had to write about why Berkeley, and EBCLC was literally the only thing I could rave about. And to be part of it, I mean, not that. Berkeley Law has a lot of other things they do, but I love EBCLC, and that's why I'm here. But as a clinical student, I worked with an amazing, zealous, passionate team of advocates. They were all so incredibly empathetic, so kind, so passionate, not just to their clients, who they served every single day with the utmost dedication. They also worked tirelessly to help support their students. They care so deeply about both their clients and students, and it shows so much through the work that they do, not just actively working to combat the large systemic inequities that impact low-income communities of color in the Bay, but also ensuring that us, the next generation of badass attorneys, are going to continue their work for generations to come. And so I, like Gabby, encourage all of you to stay in touch, to stay engaged with EBCLC. I know I will. Whenever I mentor students thinking about going into public interest work after law school, the first piece of advice that I'll ever give them is to do work with EBCLC, because I know that their staff and their attorneys are incredibly passionate, and they'll give them the skills, the empathy, and the tools to be able to serve our communities in the best way that we can. So thank you for.
Okay, one more round of applause for all our graduates. Bigger. I mean, like Beyonce hair care line. Yes. 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 We love y'all. We really, really do. This concludes the program. Join us upstairs for abundant, delectable refreshments and continued revelry.